Trader, investor, do you know how to read the chart? Well, that's why I'm here. I'm Denisha on a mission spreading these words and seeds of wisdom at the Trade Vine. And so it's so important as you are investing in the stock market to be able to read the chart, to be able to understand what's going on in real time. And then also being able to project based off of the candle setups and also news and things like that, or what could potentially happen. Now, no indicator, no strategy, no person, nothing is 100%. You can have the best setup, the technicals look great, the fundamentals of the company are great, and some news comes in and completely changes it, right? But being able to read the charts are going to help you out tremendously. So we're going to take about 15 minutes or so and navigate what's going on. So right now it's 11:47 or 48 p.m. on June 10th, 2025. We're looking at Micron Technologies, ticker symbol MU. And so that new candle already opened up at 11:45. Each candle represents 15 minutes. And so this right here, when it opened up, once I seen how it reacted, could have been a potential entry for me, depending on which strategy I was using. Also being able to look at the candle prior and see that sellers pushed it down to 112.76, but the buyers came in strong, and then it had a little bit more volume. But again, now we're going closer to 12 o'clock. So it would just depend, because I could be looking at this as the reward to risk of this 20, depending on the entry, 30 is cent. Like, I might have not wanted to do that. And so it depends on if I was doing a scalp or what. And so you got to know what strategy that you're using. But if we go ahead and just watch price, we're at 113.95. And again, I am in my simulator account. I've already taken my trades for today. I might take one more later in the day, but we'll see if that setup looks like, a strategy that I'm doing, and it makes sense. But anyway, I also have to be mindful because there's more market events for tomorrow. So you want to be mindful of what's going on. And then some things you're not going to be able to account for. Sometimes you're just not going to know, which is why it's important to have our stops on. And so right now we see that price right now is at 114. And I actually will go down to the 1 minute chart. I spent my first about 8 months on the 1 minute chart, and I can see that there's a double top forming here. We are on the 1 minute, so it may not be as of it may not be as strong, but we'll see. But that's something just to be mindful of. It could pull back to this 9 EMA right here. I'll zoom in, which is at this 113.83 level, and bounce off. So we just want to be mindful that it can break through this level. And then the next level would be here, this 114.17. And then here at this 114.32, we do see when it came and had a double top right here, it actually did pull back. Somebody else could say that these are tweezers, and it, could potentially show a reversal, and it did as well. Now, patterns are interesting. I'm a very creative person. And so my thing is just reading it, not trying to make up nothing, not trying to project where it's going. You'll see your levels, but trading what I see on particular strategies, and with any strategy. But I know there's been times where I'm in a swing trade, and it's looking favorable, but news came out, some other things came out, and it started going in the opposite direction of where I was, the call I had placed or put I had placed, either one. But waiting it out because it still was holding a specific level, and then it actually was in profit. But then once it got in profit, making the decision of if this, then that, where are we at? So currently on MU, we are still at this, we've broken past this level, and now we are approaching here. So we're going to see, because also someone else could be like, this is a double top. And so it's just knowing your levels, knowing potential patterns. As I study like hedge fund managers, a lot of them are not using a lot of the retail trader strategies. They have other algos and different things to be able to use. And so we're going to use what we have. And God gave us opportunities, the indicators. I do like them at times. Sometimes they don't work. Like I said, nothing's 100%. But as we can see right now, price has been respecting this 9 EMA. And so, yes, price came down here 113, but the bulls pushed it back up, which they bought, right? But bought it back up to this price. And it's really just been riding this 9 EMA. So these EMAs do have some validity to them. You just have to know how to use them and be able to say, okay, right now we're at this 114.03 level. Let me go back, because I don't want to always be on the 1 minute and just be in the weeds. It just depends on if I need high level details. But if I go back to the 15 minute, I still see that it's in a position where I would want to hold if I was in a call on this, and I wouldn't be so quick to just get out of it. And so we have the non-EMA here that's curled up. We have this VWAP that's here. One indication of this being invalidated is if it falls below the VWAP. But I've also seen traps where if I was to put my stop right under here, it could be a chance where it comes down, grabs the stop, which is AKA my money or God's money, I should say, and then returns back up. And we can see that here with, if I would have had my stop here or closer, it would have kicked me out the trade and then went back up. So we have to just be mindful of what we're willing to risk along with our risk management and what we're seeing in real time, and go from there. I actually did a trade this morning and I had my stop too tight and it kicked me out the trade and went up $5. $5. And that's great. You know what I mean? On an options trade. And even shares. It's just whatever your strategy, but on my that would have been great. And so anyway, you move on because there's over 7,000 stocks. There's all this activity and there's always another opportunity. But I was able to make some money, which I'm grateful for. And now we're in studying mode, and then I'll be in managing my business role. And so we want to be able to just continue to look. Right now we're at 114.14. The next thing I would be looking at, okay, we're coming to this level of 114.22, which is a resistance level. We also want to be able to know our other levels. And so you would have did a top-down approach. And here's that 114.38 level that has been for sure a resistance area. So let's duplicate this. And that is my reminder to stop trading. I have different notifications that help me. So whatever you need to help you be able to preserve your capital, to be able to stay in order, there's other things that we have to do, that we get to do, whether it is preparing food for our family or, preparing for your next business meeting. This trading is a resource. It is a tool that then we can continue to build God's kingdom, continue to do the things that God called us to do. And so anyway, I went on the 4. Let me do that on the 4. Let's see, on the weekly. Yep, on the weekly course. Okay, so we can see here. Oh yeah. Yeah. I was in a put on this at one point and had to get out because it completely was invalidated. It was right here. It did not continue in a put. You know what I'm saying? So you can see right now, it has been riding this 50 EMA. Let me zoom in. It's this blue color, it's probably harder to see. And then we have the 9 and the 21 crossed. And so it's been on the uptrend. It's been on the uptrend since pretty much 526. So from 92.73 and even from 90, because I saw it here at 90.68. That's what got me to thinking about a call. But what I should have done was waited for it to to really come below probably this purple, this 100 EMA, or just more receipts, right? So anyway, right here we can see, so this, let's just say from this 92.86 all the way up to 114.04. And right now we're at this resistance level. So we'll see if it starts to pull back or if it continues up. So what do you think? What do you think? Do you think it's gonna continue up based off of technical? So this is not what do we think based on off our feelings, is what are we thinking based off what we're seeing on the chart. So let me know in the comments. My co-host is being more vibrant right now. And so we're gonna get off and get our lunch, do some a business meeting, and create. So God gave you this amazing opportunity. Let's be good stewards of it. God is right there with you. So when you're feeling like anxious, where you're feeling like you want to keep placing a trade, step back, right? Evaluate, read the price, read what's going on, know what's going on internally with you too, because we don't want to come in here from a place of like desperation and we gotta make money, we gotta do this, and we gotta go, we gotta do, because that's when you start losing money, right? And you're not thinking objectively. So if you want to join me here tomorrow, I will be going back over price action. If you have any questions, let me know. And again, this is not financial advice. This is somebody's on a mission to continue to just spread these words of wisdom so that we can be even more better investors when it comes down to it. And it's up to you, right? You are literally in an opportunity right now. We want to be good stewards of it. So you want to say bye? Bye. Have a good day. See ya. Just see ya, guys. Bye.